Ready? What's up, guys? Chef Josh here with Kaya Sushi Catering. I will be showing you how to make a Gunkan style nigiri, which is a type of sushi named after a Japanese style warship. Okay, the word Gunkan is a Japanese warship that they used to use in the earlier days during the dynasty times in early 1300s and before. And so I'll show you how to make that the shape of the nigiri. It's like a little boat. That's why they're called Gunkan style. And so I'll be using some nori. We'll be cutting the nori into little strips, half-inch strips. Oh, and make sure you use a dry surface when you're making these, because if the nori gets wet, obviously it will split immediately. Okay, so we'll do like 4 to start with. Yeah, and it cuts pretty easy. You just use the tip of your knife and you just run it down. Okay, like such. And I'll go ahead and take the 4 even strips and save this one for later. For now, I will set this aside. Like such. Okay, it's all dry. Okay, now I will grab what let's do the inside meat. This is the crab that we had boiled earlier. So what we'll do is we'll deshell it and we'll use the meat that's on the inside of the shell, the head. And there's a lot of beautiful meat in here, as you can see. I'll go ahead and split this up. That's the discoloration. It's nothing bad. Okay. And it's quite simple. I'll add a little bit of Kewpie mayo, a little bit of ponzu, tiny bit of salt, very tiny bit of salt, sea salt preferably. And then add some scallions or green onions for a slight flavor. Okay, take this out here. So I already showed you in the earlier video how we took the thicker part of the legs. That was the first portion of the video. What I call the king crab steaks, the large meat from the legs. The large loins, I should say. Yeah, that's simple. You can also use a little chopstick or a pick to pull this out. If you really want to get nitty gritty about it. Yeah, and there's no shell in here. What I'll do is just give it a rough chop, just quickly. Yep. Then I'll add this to my container. Such, set this aside. Rinse off my knife. Okay. My wet towel. I'm just going to clean off the cutting board. And then mayo. I'll be adding to here about a tablespoon. A tablespoon of Japanese mayo. Not a whole lot. Sort of incorporate that in. And try not to break down the meat too much. Okay. There's that. I'll take parts of my scallion here, the leftovers from earlier. Finally chop these. Yeah. Okay. There's that. Scallions in here, about a tablespoon or so. Make sure they're all Mixed in well. And if you want it spicy, you can add some sriracha to it as well, or some chili oil. I like to keep things simple. I don't want to add spice to everything, and so I won't be adding that. I do have the crab broth from earlier that I will be adding in slightly for the flavor. Just like so. Okay. And then a little bit of ponzu sauce. Just a tiny bit. Okay. A dab of it. And that's it. Our mix is done. Go ahead and wipe down the cutting board here real quickly. Okay. So now that's ready. What I'll do is get a little dab of mayo in here so the rice doesn't stick to my hand. So I had prepared sushi rice earlier that I'll be using for this. And in some of my earlier videos, if you guys have been following me, you guys will see I've shown how we make nigiri style of sushi. Yeah. And then I've also demonstrated how we prepare the sushi rice as well. And so this is the rice that I made earlier. And I'll be doing like four nigiri gunkan style. Okay, such. And if you notice carefully, I'd like to show you something. It looks like I'm pressing on the rice and I'm making this rice ball. That is certainly not the case. The whole point when you're making nigiri or any kind of sushi is to keep the rice fluffy as possible. You want to keep it together, aerated, and nice light bite when you're eating, because the point is to feel each grain when you're biting it, so it's not mushy. Okay, and so that's exactly what we're doing right here. Okay, keeping it nice and aerated. You'll grab one of your strips that we made earlier, and we'll make it like almost an oval shape, which is the boat-like shape, the oval, gunkan. That's why it's called, referred to as gunkan style. And we'll just go ahead and press it gently in here. There. Usually when you're making these, you have to move quick because the nori will start to wither, meaning that it'll start to get soft. Okay, do that. Such. Okay. Okay, so we have our 4 gunkan style prepared here. What I'll do next is I'll take the king crab mix that I'm prepared. Okay. And I'll just add that to that. Into the top. I'll set this aside here. Same thing with this one here. And no, I am not being stingy with this. And neither should you. It's 2. The third one. The goal is always to serve this as quickly as possible because you still want to taste the crispy nori with the crab and the rice. Everything incorporates well together. The fantastic umami flavor from the crab and nori that's in here. Okay, and just for citrus fun, what I will do is I'll use a half of orange for the 2 here. It will be used as a palate cleanser, and it's quite refreshing as well. And then I will also use one, grapefruit for the other one. And now you have two different citrus flavors with this. And this, folks, is your Gunkan style king crab nigiri with orange and grapefruit. Cheers.